Now over at the Houston house, we're all big fans of Katherine Heigl movies. Katherine Heigl, started out, I don't know about I guess I can't say started out, since we all know about her early role in a movie I reviewed a few episodes back, which was My Father the Hero. Is that what that thing was called? Gerard Depardieu movie. In any event, she kind of comes to prominence in Grey's Anatomy, then turns out to be a huge monster, I guess, behind the scenes, allegedly. And now she makes a bunch of not great movies that are typically pretty fun to watch. Jenny's Wedding is the one I want to talk to you about today. This is a movie wherein Katherine Heigl comes out to her family as gay and says she's going to be marrying Alexis Bledel from Gilmore Girls, although Alexis is very barely in this movie. And then the entire 90 minutes is a movie about Katherine Heigl's family grappling and coming to grips with the idea that their daughter is gay, while Katherine Heigl grapples and comes to grips with her parents being terrible. Tom Wilkinson is the dad who simply cannot stomach the revelation and gets into really weird, shouty fights with Katherine Heigl inside of like churches and things in front of big groups. Grace Gummer, the typically pretty charming daughter of Meryl Streep, is in this movie as Katherine Heigl's sister, who I think thanks to Heigl's revelation comes to realize that her own marriage is terrible and ends up, I think, divorcing her husband on the basis that there's a brown patch in their yard. It's very bizarre. This is a really weird and retrograde movie that seems like a movie that would have come out in the early 2000s and been, a semi-serious comedy about, what was then a very, I think, real issue of families coming to grips with things in a changing time, but which in 2000, this is a movie that only came out in like 2015, feels very old-fashioned and weird. It's also just plain kind of a bad movie. Most of the movie is scenes with just two people in them. So it's like Katherine Heigl and her mother having a scene together, or the mother and the mother's friend having a scene together, or Katherine Heigl and Tom Wilkinson having a scene together, or Grace Gummer and her husband having a scene together. So it's these, interminable two-person dialogue scenes. It's a real rough movie. 1.5 stars.